and let's see if this works.
Good evening. I'm Coulter Wonkite. I'm already into the 420, damn it.
So what are you doing? Nothing. Nothing? Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.
You know I blame it on industry. I blame it on my own hypocrisy. Miseducation and politicians. No one's willing to step up and speak. You know I blame it on industry. I blame it on my own hypocrisy. Miseducation and politicians. No one's willing to step up and speak.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pace Radio Show. And as always, we are live here at LifestyleRadio.net and our sister site, 420radio.ca. I'm your host, Al Rand. Tonight, my joint host, Kim Cooper, is our guest, who is a person who works hard at creating an easy and reliable piece of medical equipment, that's what I like to call it, that produces perfect clouds. But before we find out more, it's time for Kim and I to have a chat. Hello, Kim. How are you?
Oh, I'm not doing too bad tonight, Al. I'm pretty much recuperated from our last adventure out and just about ready for another one.
Yeah, well, there seems to be so much going on, you know, like in September alone, there's back-to-back events.
Yeah, I'm sadly gonna miss one of them because I'm leaving just a couple of days before it starts. But I am going to be in the city for the upcoming event. The Karma Cup is happening down in Toronto next weekend.
Yes, September 8th and 9th,
Yeah.
at an undisclosed location still.
Yes. The location will be released on the Friday previous to the event, thereby sporting city officials and police departments from stopping the event from taking place.
Yes, and I understand from what I'm seeing, it's even going to be bigger and larger than past years, more festive.
Yeah, they're billing it this year to be bigger and better than ever. More vendors, more stuff to do, more entertainment, more everything, it seems.
Yeah, and it is a public event. You can get tickets online. Go to thekarmacup.com, and you'll be able to buy tickets there to get in. Plus, tickets will be available at the door.
Yeah, you can do the lineup at the door. Considering years past, you know what I'm talking about here.
I sure
the
do.
lineup in front of the Karma Cup to purchase tickets at the gate literally goes down the street and around the block. If you are attending this event, I strongly encourage you to buy your tickets in advance online. There's a separate lineup for that if you're not doing a transaction to purchase your tickets, and you can get in a lot faster.
No matter where the location at, maybe if it's a new location, it could be, there's going to be a lineup. So get your tickets ahead of time for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Strongly encourage everybody to get their tickets in advance for that.
Now I'm seeing a lot of photos online of the judging stuff that's going on too.
Yeah, lots of people posting pics of stuff that they're judging. Lots of extracts and edibles as well as bud out there.
Yeah. There's all kinds of different things. Like you said, the edibles, this CBD category. Different CBD, high terpenes. Like these are things that high terpenes. I've never experienced high terpenes before. And there's some interesting stuff in there. One is like the diamonds with the terp sauces in there that we get to sample. So a lot of new technology kind of products that are out there now that we actually get a chance to try that you may not get a chance to try otherwise. I know, guys were talking about these diamonds and sauce online. I'm going, what are you talking about? What's this diamonds and sauce? Is this something that's edible or what?
Yeah, and it's vaporized, and for a lot of the products that I'm testing in this cup, of course, I'm using my Shatterizer, which is what we're going to be discussing later on. But it comes in handy for testing this kind of stuff on the go. We'll talk a lot more about that when we introduce our guests later on. But the extracts in this year's kit, very interesting stuff for sure.
Yeah. Oh yes, there is for sure. And there's places like Ganjanistas in Hamilton. Friday night they are having, I think it's Friday. And the next Wednesday, Friday and Wednesday, they are going to do have a Karma Cup party. Testing.
Yeah, the official testing
judging,
party. Yeah. There's a few going on around the city. There's a couple at Ganjanistas. I think there's one at Planet Paradise as well. That's happening at some point before Karma. There's a few things going on in the city, and people are also hosting house parties because these kits contain so many samples. You've got to literally host judging parties just to get through it all.
I had some friends over this past Sunday.
Yeah.
And yeah.
You need help. I mean, it's like, okay, how do I test over 100 products in 3 weeks? And it's kind of like an all points bulletin. Everybody get your ass over here and try some of this because I can't do it all.
Yeah, we ended up doing it as a group session. So we analyzed everything together. And then I gave a little bit to each of them to go home and judge and let me know the results. Yeah. They took a picture of what they have to judge for and all that stuff.
Yeah, get them to take a picture. So
I've been able to share it a little.
Yeah, I've done that as well, and get the person to take a picture of the book, right?
Yeah,
and then they what questions to answer, right? Man, send me your numbers, and I'll fill them in.
Yep. We'll give other patients an opportunity to do this as well. So
for sure.
People wouldn't have an opportunity. And after the Karma Cup, the following weekend, there's also HempFest Cannabis Expo is going on in Toronto as well on September the 15th to the 16th.
Yeah, all new HempFest. For anybody that knows me, they know I was associated with HempFest way back when. Different HempFest, new owners, no organizers, new location. It's no longer Northern Ontario. Now it takes place in downtown Toronto. First one is happening this year on Exhibition Grounds, which is a really big deal to have a cannabis expo of this type taking place at Exhibition Place.
Yeah, now would that be provincial government? The where TY Expo and the Lift event, that's all owned by federal government. So I'm assuming this is from the provincial government.
Yeah, so now this is provincially owned. So I mean, we're covering all the bases with our festivals and events these days. We've got federal land, provincial land, city land. When it comes to 420 Toronto, that was city property owned by the city of Toronto at Nathan Phillips Square. So we're covering all the bases. That's for sure on where we're holding these things.
Yeah, it's That's right. That's good. Government-run places holding cannabis events. What sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we're also mentioning this because Mary Jane and Al Rapp from the 420 radio show, they are going to be there on Saturday, I believe. They're going down there. So
Awesome.
they'll be checking it out. And also our guest tonight is also going to be there as well.
Yeah. It should be
Yeah.
a great event.
Yeah, and Stephen Stairs, he's emceeing the event, I believe.
Yeah, Stephen Stairs, past guest on the show, friend of the show, from out in Winnipeg, in the middle of the country there. So it'll be nice to have him in town and emceeing this event.
Yes, it will. Well, let's just introduce our guest, and maybe she can fill us a little bit more in on this event.
Sure, sounds good.
All right, Kate. At this time, I'd like to bring in the person who works hard creating an easy and reliable piece of medical equipment that produces perfect clouds. I'd like to welcome Val McCulloch to the Pace Radio Show. Hello, Val. How are you?
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having me this evening. And I just want to say I'm looking forward to the conversation about the Karma Cup and the judging. Because let me tell you, we were judges last year, and I had an Excel sheet going with all the different categories, different stages, schedules going.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've been in so many meetings, we wouldn't be able to get through the kit. There's no way. So we're dying to hear about it from you guys.
I can tell you, it's huge. This is my first time.
Yeah,
really.
And they say this year's kit, Val, and I can attest to this. I've been a judge for several years now as well, and this year's kit is definitely the best ever. The swag that is contained in this kit is amazing. We got a dabbing apparatus. It's a nice little nectar collector, a glass nectar collector in there. There was a supersized torch, with one of those ones that holds a lot of fuel, high flame on it, really professional torches in there, T-shirts, all kinds of swag. I mean, the swag was off the hook.
I looked at like the torch with the nectar collector that was all there for you to deal with all the concentrates. And then there was a battery that was there. That was all there for the cartridges for you. And then there was the rolling tray, papers, filters, and grinders all within that swag bag as well.
Yeah. Everything consumption. I mean,
correct.
Everything that you need to consume, everything in that kit was available to you.
That's amazing. Can I ask you a question about the extracts, the concentrates, the CBDs? Are you seeing and are you tasting a lot more in the category? Like,
which do you mean?
The CBD category?
Oh, yeah, like within the concentrated market, because it seems like that's such a hot kind of topic, and people are really getting into the extracts.
There's more of them. There was definitely more concentrates than bud this year over previous years. So the concentrate category is definitely increasing in mass. And there's more variety of concentrates. I mean, concentrates are coming so far. Stuff like diamond mining is happening now. I mean,
Can you wear those diamonds?
Yeah, no, you don't want to wear them. You're smoking them. I mean, it's amazing the stuff they're doing with concentrates.
Two other judges were talking about this stuff on Facebook, diamonds and sauce, and I'm going, what is diamonds and sauce? Like,
and it's a process that when you take your liquid, when your concentrate is almost at the finish level but not quite, and you take that liquid and then you let it sit, it will actually form crystals and it'll separate from the mass liquid, and you wind up with something called, one part's diamonds, the other part is sauce, and it's a terpene sauce, and the diamonds are all the high concentrate CBD and THC. So it makes for a brand new way to product to vape.
It's new, all right.
Yeah, it's very interesting deal for sure. And I'm pretty sure it was probably come across by accident. Somebody had a partially cooked up lot, and they stuck it on a shelf somewhere and forgot about it, right? Went back 2 weeks later and said, hey, wow, look at that,
Let's try it.
Let's
Yeah.
That's
try
all
that.
you can do. Let's try it. Yeah, this could possibly be delicious.
That's
I got
it.
to tell you, it's such an interesting consistency too, eh?
Mhm.
I find that when I like, and Matt's really into the sauces, I'm straight up I love everything pretty much, but the consistency is so interesting, and the color, I like to vape it at a lower temperature setting so I can get more flavor.
Right.
And the diamonds, they can really hit you, eh?
Yeah, the diamonds can hit you. And that terp sauce, I mean, if you're one for the flavor and the lower temp vapes, then, you're going to love the terp sauces that are out there because they are so flavorful.
Yeah, guys.
I know.
What's that?
I posted on Facebook like high terps.
Yeah. I mean, when low temperature dabs are definitely the way to go when you're talking about terp sauce or high terpene extracts. That's when they really it saturates your mouth. And the Shatterizer, having the variable temperature available on that unit, really is helpful for what you're consuming. The high terp stuff, you put it on low, and other stuff, you're doing reclaim because you're at the end of your pay period or whatever, and you're on reclaim. Well, you need a higher temperature to get that shit burnt, right? So, I mean, that's what is so beneficial with some of the features on the Shatterizer.
Cool. Thank you for that. I prefer the 15-second heat option. I'd like to be able to take really big
wide
dabs.
open.
That's also extremely appreciated. I mean, most of the vape pens we've used in the past, it's like, what do you mean 5 seconds and I'm done? 8 seconds and I'm done? No. That's not long enough. And you wind up, clicking it multiple times. Well, now you're shutting it off, and it becomes a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I gotta say, Kim, it was such a pleasure to meet you. At the Indigenous Cannabis Cup. It was so much fun to meet you for the first time and blow some perfect clouds and learn a little bit about you and, your interests and all the work that you're doing within the community. Just wanted to make that mention sincerely.
Thank you.
And your package is on its way.
I already got my notice. It'll be in tomorrow.
Oh, lovely. Excellent.
A day early, I will add. Well, thank you very much for that, Val. It was also a pleasure for me meeting you at the Indigenous Cup and getting to spend some time and learning more about Shatterizer, how you guys got there. And that's enough out of you from the Peanut Gallery.
Hey, listen, I'm actually eating some peanuts right now. I had a peanut butter cookie. Isn't that
Toss some up to the Peanut Gallery there. But while we were there, we talked a little bit about the Shatterizer. So, let's get into that a little bit now. Let's dive in here. So obviously we've been talking for a while now. Obviously you are Val McCulloch and you represent and Shatterizer. You're one of the people that helped bring this thing to market. Tell us the very beginnings. Let's start there. How the hell did you guys come up with the concept of all of the wonderful features in this one vape pen?
That's my partner, Shatterizer. He's the inventor on this. And he actually, it's funny, he experimented with so many different devices. Yep. And the Shatterizer has been out now only for about a year. We're coming up to our 1-year anniversary at the Karma Cup. But we tested for 6 months. We tested different iterations, various prototypes, different things that, the community liked or didn't like. And he really took a look at all the things that would be ideal to him as a vapor, as a dad, as someone who needed to be discreet, as a professional, and he came up with the Shatterizer. And it's an amazing device. And
I can see that. I can see that. I can see that this was made by somebody that would use the product. You can just tell. I mean, when you look at all the features, it's like, okay, you know what? Only somebody using one of these would think of that and know about that problem. And this little innovation here fixes that problem.
Well, it's simple details, right? It's a long-lasting battery. It's a built-in but separable storage container. It's the coil system. It's a quartz option and a C-Tech option. It's the globe. You know, we tried countless iterations without the globe, but the globe, quite frankly, always tasted better.
Yeah.
And we figured out, you know, it's because of the flavor, the density, the cooling, the size of you know, the vapor that you can essentially inhale. I mean, and
that globe aspect allows it to sort of roll in there and breathe a little bit before the actual inhale, and that, like a fine wine, that's what you do with something that you want to enhance the flavor with.
Yeah, and that's why we launched with borosilicate glass.
Right.
And you know, our for the first 6 months, but we had been testing, of course, other more durable options, more transportable options, you know, throughout the course of it. But you know, it took us months of testing before we were comfortable with launching something aluminum, because we didn't want to impact the flavor.
Right.
So our aluminum
and so many metals will do that, right?
Yes.
Different, depending on the metal that you use, you will impede the flavor.
Well, it's the same metal from scuba gear, and what's very interesting is that the inside of our aluminum version is sealed, so there's no ridges.
Right.
That would impact that density or the cooling of the vapor. Like, it's completely smooth and finished.
Right.
So it's these little things that, you know, we just want to hold the integrity to our clients.
Yeah.
You know.
I also see. I've got one here in my hand.
Yeah.
I also see. I got. The mouthpiece, you know, most people might think the globe has just got a, you know, open end that goes over where the battery and all that is, where the burner is, and the other end would just be open to go to your mouth. But no, you seem to have some type of baffle or deflector or something that's in there as well.
Yeah, you can't inhale any. If a particle is in there, it doesn't make it to your mouth. There's that little barrier there.
Yeah, it's almost like I'd call it a flashcard. You know. The other difference is, you know, the airflow around the atomizer. I mean, we want to make sure that you can get good airflow the whole way through. If you look at the atomizer base, there are 4 little holes.
Yeah.
So for intake. So I mean, Matt is truly dedicated to great design, awesome engineering. He's very detail oriented around this, and
I'm not going to mention any names of any other products or anything like that to compare to. But you know, I've used another one, and people say, "Oh, it kind of looks like that one." And when I look at the one that they've shown me, the major difference that I found was in the actual coil head itself, the cap.
Oh, sure.
That goes on the coil. I like the fact that it's a flat cap with just a hole in it. The other ones that I've seen, the caps, they have this nugget point that sticks up on the top of them, blocking that hole. That thing clogs in 5 minutes. But when you've got the straight through hole and no nugget on the top, there's no issue with clogging.
Yeah. And you know what? It's one of the big things I like, because I use my Shatterizer all the time, is that it's so easy to clean. Like, you just take a little bit of alcohol and you're done.
It's
like
finished.
5 minutes and you're done.
Yeah. I throw it in my shot glass, boom, 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 rinse it around a little bit, you know, take it out, rinse it off, dry it off, put it back, and you're good to go.
Hey, gin or vodka works great.
Al cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, Al's cool.
absolutely.
Al cool. But I'm close to the Quebec border, so I have access to that. I'm close to the Quebec border, so I have access to the grain alcohol over there. So that's what we use, but I use that for my extracts as well. But I mean, it's so simple to keep clean.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And
Yeah.
we have such a neat diversity of customers too, like such a wide range of ages and backgrounds and experiences that the device is simple. You know?
It's very
and,
easy to use. That I can say. And the button is large enough where you're not looking for it. It's like, oh, it's right there, and you can feel it, you can push it. You know a discerning click when it happens. You're not wondering, did that click or didn't it?
Yeah, click, click, click. And then typically you can see the cloud.
Yeah. I like that. It's very cool for sure. And the fact that you can just plug it in without having to hook it up and screw it on to a separate apparatus. It works with just a regular USB.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, so many of them I've seen the screw-on thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a pain in the ass.
Just, homes now, you can take a receptacle outlet and turn it into a USB plug.
That's right.
And you can just plug it. That's what I do. We have one of those in our kitchen. And I just plug it in with the little cord that you gave us and plug it into the wall, and she's ready in no time.
Yeah. It's all good to go. All good to go. Yeah, for sure. So a lot of really, really cool features on it. So that's all Matt and his use of vapes. I mean, I understand that because we were talking about this before, and I said, I've got a glass from a wooden mug, a beer stein from Jamaica, and it's literally filled with vape pens from days gone by, and all of them. It's like, oh, this was wrong with this one. This is wrong with this one. This one clogged. This one just quit. Parts missing. And I mean, they're just, all of them came with their issues. I've been using the Shatterizer that I have nonstop since 420. I haven't had a single clog. I haven't had a single issue. Every time I hit that button, it works.
I'm thrilled. We're thrilled. Thank you.
I've never had that longevity in any other vape pen in 10 years.
Well, we're users of our products. We certainly love to hear these kinds of, and if there are any issues, just in case, we're ready to take care of them right away. Like customer service wise, we value any issue. We'll take care of it ASAP. No questions asked. So I'm glad you've had such a great experience, Ken. Yeah. And Al, how about you?
No, I haven't. I haven't come across any issues with mine, and I have to really thank you for this this great talk, because it's hit the ground hard 3 times in the last 2 days,
and nothing, right?
Nothing.
They last.
Yeah. Exactly.
Amazing.
Like, my brother bought one as well, and he said the same thing to me. Is that he's dropped it several times, and
when you see it going, and you think, you're done.
Yeah. Well, the last time it went fine, I just thought, oh well, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
It's not gonna break because it's I've seen it bounce a few times already off of the ground.
Totally.
So yeah. Yeah,
I'm definitely part of the testing process. I mean, I put a lot of wear and tear on my device. I mean, I take it everywhere with me, to the gym, to the beach, to work, I drop it probably 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah.
It's just part of the life, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't go through a day without dropping stuff. That's just me.
However,
the
it's
hands
not
just don't work
guys.
anymore. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Fantastic product. I mean, I can't say enough about it. And anybody that knows me, I don't usually do that. I don't tout a product unless I truly believe in it. And this one's got me.
Thank you. Thank you. And you know what? Everyone who we've met in the community has totally got us. We're so touched every day, you know, by the stories we hear, and just people having fun and, you know, feeling better and doing great things, and people who are like, hey, you know, I never thought I'd get into extracts. I never thought I'd be doing this, but I'm feeling great. And, you know, they're sharing feedback. They also tell us, you know, when they don't like something too, you know?
Yeah.
So it's that great, you know, we're in the process of testing right now. And, you know, in certain coil systems, diamonds get stuck.
There's that diamond word
right?
again.
There's that diamond word.
There's that diamond word. There
you know,
go.
the diamonds get really, really stuck. Now, you know, so it's almost like a never-ending passion to try to find the perfect device, you know, to geek out, gadgets, you know.
I find that I use different heads for different products.
Okay.
You know, this head works good for this. You know, you want the dual coil for this product, but you want the ceramic for this product. And you know what I mean? That's how I use it. And it's like, and I can look at my heads that'll be lined up on the table, and they all have stuff in them. And it's like, oh, I know what that is because of the coil. Oh, I know what's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's nothing like, you know, you've got the, you know, you got the ceramic bowl. You got to have more than one bowl because, you know, you get going with one strain, and you've got, you know, somebody comes along, hey, try this. Oh,
well, I'm not putting it in with mine.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Here, we'll get a new one for you, right? And you put it in there. And next thing you know, you've got 10 heads on your table all loaded, right?
Yeah, and you have no idea what they are, so you're safe to say it's a hybrid.
Yeah, that's right.
You know. So,
okay, ladies.
You know.
I've got to jump in here. We've got to go for a break.
All right.
Okay.
Pay some bills. Okay. As we go in and out of our breaks, we have bumper music. Okay, Val. And I usually try to match the music somewhat to our guests. Okay. So I found this song by somebody called Forensic, and the song is called The Shatter Song. That's right, The Shatter Song. Okay, so we're going to hear a little bit of that going in and out of the commercial break tonight. And so now, when Kim and I return, we'll continue our talk with our guest, Val McCulloch. And this is the Pace Radio Show. We are live here at lifestyleradio.net. See you in 5.
So what are you doing? Nothing? Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
Break a piece of that shatter, bro. Shatter, bro. Heat the nail and then dab it slow. Dab it slow. Break a piece of that shatter, bro. Shatter, bro. Heat the nail and then dab it slow. Taking hits of that BHO. Watching True Blood on HBO. Breathe it in, blow it out. I can smoke a few blunts, but it don't amount to the shatter high. Dabbing my wax on the nail, cause it magnifies how my eyes start to bleed till it advertised to the public. Man, I love it while you act surprised. All the yellow shit.
Canada, the time to act is now. These days, your customers are seeking variety. Increase your earning potential by expanding your inventory with CC Nexus, Canada's largest cannabis seed wholesaler. CC Nexus stocks over 60 reputable breeders, including Canuck seeds, with a wealth of autoflower, regular, feminized, and CBD strains. All first-time customers will receive a free pack of Canuck seeds, plus a mug, t-shirt, and additional promotional materials. Add strains and increase your profit with CC Nexus, your Canadian-owned and operated wholesaler of cannabis seeds. Discreet, worldwide stealth shipping from Canada, supporting you locally. Call today 1-844-843-7995, 1-844-843-7995, or visit us at ccnexus.global.
Are you looking for cannabis news, education, and people's opinions? Are you looking to learn what Canadian and international cannabis advocates are doing, not only now, but what got them to this point in their lives, and what does the future hold for them? Do you want to learn how patients are using cannabis as their daily medication, or learn how their cannabis use helps them with their medical condition? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then I'm going to suggest to you to tune in to Lifestyle Radio. Catch their live weekly shows and have your questions and concerns answered and find the experience you're looking for. Monday, catch your weekly news broadcast with the Reef Reporters. Then on Wednesday, get several hours worth of cannabis public education. We get things started with cannabis and coffee with Tamarawana. Then tune in and catch Pottawa with Russell Barth, who calls himself the world's angriest pothead. Finish up your evening with the award-winning Pace Radio Show with Al Graham and joint host Kim Cooper and Alicia Yashishin. No week would be complete without tuning into Friday night's program, the 420 Radio Show featuring Al Rapp and the 420 Radio crew, Mary Jane Baker and Marcel Gignac. Cannabis is a lifestyle, and you can catch all your cannabis lifestyle information right here at lifestyleradio.net or at our sister site, 420radio.ca. The 5th Annual Karma Cup Cannabis Festival and Industry Trade Show is an elite medical cannabis, hash, edibles, topical, and heady glass competition. It also includes live music, speakers, glass marketplace, vendor village, exhibitors, and much more. Hand-picked judges evaluate many categories including bud, extract, CBD products, and disposable vape pens. This outdoor, rain or shine event will be held in downtown Toronto on September the 8th and 9th, but its secret location won't be released until September the 7th at 4:20 p.m. via social media. The Karma Cup was founded in 2013 by Sarah Sunday in order to create a cannabis-positive space for growers, producers, business owners, industry experts, and their fans in order to gather and judge the country's best cannabis and cannabis products on an even playing field. Please join us, be part of Canada's largest ticketed Cannabis Pride Festival, the 5th Annual Karma Cup Cannabis Festival and Industry Trade Show on September the 8th and 9th in downtown Toronto. For more information, please go to thekarmacup.com.
Man, have you been to Canadays yet? Canadays, Campbellford's premier cannabis culture shop at 19 Bridge Street West. They've got bongs, oil rigs, grinders, and papers. Everything you need for consumption. They've got seeds, soil, nutrients, and dome trays too. Everything you need for cultivation. Get top quality seeds from top suppliers like Canuck and wholesaler Nexus. Canadays. They've got all kinds of awesome cannabis novelties, clothing, and apparel. I know, right? It's a lot more than just a bong shop. Interested in gaining legal access? Canadays can help. They're a PACE information center. You know, people advocating cannabis education. Come by the shop and check it out. 19 Bridge Street West, Campbellford. Canadays. Have your say without saying a word. Canadays.ca.
Let your boy get a big dab, I'll take it all. Can't escape the cough, it'll break you off, cause that shit's bad. Nah, bro, you know I can't help it. Eyes lit up when I smelt it. Took a hit and I felt it. As soon as that shit melted, man, forget it. Like that torch up, I need to take one more puff. Let's easy bake some more stuff. Yo, easy bake, I'm all fucked up cause I'm high right now, but fuck it though, it doesn't
Hey, welcome
matter.
back to Listen to Pace Radio Show. We are live here at lifestyleradio.net, and tonight on the program, I'm joined by our guest, Val McCulloch of Shatterizer, plus my hard work and joint host, Kim Cooper. Okay, ladies, we've been testing out our Shatterizers ever more often over that break.
Yeah. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, I came prepared. I got samples here.
Great. Karma Cup judging and the
Karma Cup
Shatterizer.
samples.
Yeah. Yeah, judging in the Shatterizer. Well, we talked to Val McCulloch from Shatterizer. Might as well use the product while we're on the air. I'm using it all day and every day when I'm out and about anyway. So yeah, it's a great thing. You know, Val, when we started talking, we talked about how, you know, Matt is basically the builder. He's the vapor. He's the one that's gotten through the whole process and said, you know, like the rest of us, I am sick of all these shit-ass vapes that clog and have all these problems. He designed this from the get-go. He made all the changes and said, this is what I want to see in a vaporizer, and he made it happen. Where do you come in all this? What's your background, and how did you get involved with Shatterizer, with Matt, and with this whole drive for the cannabis community and patients?
It's funny, but we were tidying up the office the other day, and we found Matt's notebook from January 2017 when, you know, he had launched the website, was, you know, starting to work with different manufacturers, factories, getting a lot of great advice from other industry leaders. Like, he really built the company from ground up.
Yeah.
And we found a notebook, and on his list of things to do was to meet Val. And it was so funny because we didn't end up meeting until May. Because it's funny how these things happen, because I wasn't sure about, as a medicinal patient myself, coming from a background in like tech and hardware and, you know, kind of more very entrepreneurial but more corporate-y type things, I was really like a little bit nervous about getting involved with a startup in cannabis and technology, all of my favorite things.
Right. Cool.
To be honest. Yeah. So I learned about Shatter, you know, I learned about all this stuff through Matt firsthand. I was able to take the journey as a first-time, you know, extracts, you know, experiencing all these different aspects to the industry. I mean, my mind was really blown, and I was feeling a lot better. I've always been a flower girl. You know, I signed up through the LP system, so I was first on that, you know, and I was just absolutely fascinated by this device that hadn't even come out yet. You know, we were still working with prototypes and, you know, and it was just such an amazing, no, seriously, this has been nothing but, you know, a labor of love, really.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
We just started working well together, and I started to be able to capture all the cool stuff that was going on online, like writing some blogs and taking a look at what we would need, like an FAQ, cleaning instructions, fun things. So we just worked well together all the way through. So that's how we met.
Excellent, excellent. So you were on his to-do list.
I was on the to-do list, at least to meet with, you know. Sure.
The meeting with you was on the to-do list to meet with you, and the rest, so they say, is history. So he won you over with the product. He gave you an education on vaporization and shatter and extract use and the medicinal uses for patients, and how it's far more beneficial than smoking just flower, which the government gracefully allows us to purchase from LPs. So it opens whole new doors and avenues for patients for control of their symptoms.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're hearing a lot of really fabulous testimonials. And me, myself, I mean, I used to get a lot of migraines. Nothing will stop a migraine for me like a Shatterizer hit. Like a nice hit of shatter. It's amazing. It's amazing, the difference that it makes. It's quick. You know, I would have to smoke 2 joints to be able to get the equivalent or whatever, and that takes time.
Get through those 2 joints without coughing, and if you've got a migraine, the last thing you want to do is cough.
Or even try to roll a joint.
Yeah,
I mean trying to roll a joint
to do that.
Yeah,
you know,
and I start to sweat, which is just a mess. You know, So, I mean, I'm very thankful across the board, and I think it's awesome to see all of these careers just take off, and all these people doing these amazing things and creating economic opportunities. You know, it's just awesome. People are feeling well. They're passionate about what they're doing, and they're getting stuff done, making a difference.
Right.
It's just amazing.
So you're a patient then prior to meeting Matt, so you were familiar with cannabinoid therapy, you know, and what the medicinal aspects were and everything like that. For a living, what was your background at that time?
I worked in accelerators. So I worked in the Canadian Film Centre's digital media lab. So I was working with founders and startups in the tech industry. Before that, I was in 3D and Client of Mars. And before that, I was in another startup that did marketing. So I've always loved the marketing and the startup space. So it's almost like a natural evolution. And I was always the only person who would run out of meetings, hide in my car, and smoke a joint.
See, and now isn't that amazing? I mean, you've been a professional woman for your entire career life, it sounds like. You know, you've done well, you've advanced your career and everything, yet you're one of those, oh goodness, are you a lazy stoner? You know, yet we still get that attitude. It still prevails in today's world, you know, that stoners are lazy and good for nothing and we're not going to go anywhere. So many our legal patients as well as non-patient consumers have productive, industrious lives. You've had a professional life for a number of years, and now you're an entrepreneur launching a brand new product that's taking the nation by storm, and you're a patient.
Absolutely, you bet. And you know what? Without the integration of cannabis in my life, I wouldn't be living the lifestyle that I am, able to go to the gym, go hiking. I wouldn't have gotten my MBA. You know, it's enabling and it's powerful. I mean, I don't believe in high shaming. No one should ever be high shamed. You can never be too high. You know, that sounds like an awful thing to say, but
I know where you're coming from.
Don't quote me on that, but there's no high shaming. There's no need to ever put someone down for being under the influence of cannabis. It's just not necessary at all.
That's right. And I mean, I understand where you're coming from. Shaming somebody because, excuse me, they believe that you are high, I think is a large part of that problem. They'll see the amount or hear about the amount that you consume, and they automatically equate that to you being high. Well, I'm sorry, consumption does not equal impairment, and everyone's tolerance levels are different. So what puts them on the floor may do nothing to me.
Right. Exactly. And everybody's body and what they're feeling is different. So you really just got to experiment and figure out what feels good. It's funny. I actually came out of the closet for the very first time on the 420 radio show. Yep. I felt real comfortable with Al, Mary Jane and Marcel. And I felt comfortable talking to them about it. It's just wonderful.
It's just like having a conversation with three people.
Yeah, but it also, I mean, it's time for us all to start having these conversations. Really.
That's right.
You know, and our my family's on board, Matt's family's on board. Everyone has been so supportive, and people are coming to us out of the woodworks. Like my best friends, you know, like so many different people are now saying, "Hey, I tried this." And it worked.
And it works, you know. I know for myself, cannabis, a large portion of my cannabis consumption, not a large portion, but a good portion of it goes to pain control, for back pain and for fibromyalgia and a number of other things. But it's pain control. So with me, what works for me is distillate medication. I'm a really big fan of that. I like the distillate medication for instant pain relief. I find it works the best for my personal circumstances. The Shatterizer has made consumption of that medicine on the fly possible. I couldn't get it to burn at a right temperature in the proper coil in any other vape pen that I've ever used. So I only was ever able to use it at home on my e-nail. So now since I've gotten the Shatterizer, I can use that distillate medication out and about now. And that's the first time I've been able to do that. And it's amazing for when everyday stuff. I'm going shopping. When I'm in that mall, if one store that I want is at one end of that mall and the other store is at the other bloody end of that mall, well, I'm just about dead by the time I get there, right? And then you have to walk back because that's where the car is. You know? So, I mean, this thing comes in handy for those situations. The mall has doors that lead outside. You duck out halfway through the mall, and I can have a little bit of my medication, and then I can carry on with my daily chores. You know, it's so helpful. And I know so many patients that are in the same boat, and many of the patients that I've counseled are seniors, and they are looking at portable vaporization to keep them active.
Absolutely. I mean, I got mean girled at the gym. I tell this story because, you know, I work out pretty much every day. You know, I do my thing. It's changed my life, you know, being able to do that. And, you know, I smelled like marijuana going in, I guess.
Yeah.
And I got mean girled by the ladies in the gym who were coming out of a fitness class saying, "Oh, I smell skunk. Do you smell skunk?" In just like a real catty way.
Yeah.
And I reported it right away to the gym. I'm like, I just got bullied over pot. I'm a medicinal patient. And all of a sudden, you know, all the staff just came out to support me essentially and was like, "That is fine. We'll take care of it. Don't let it happen again. We'll, you know, this is a safe space for everybody to work out, you know?"
Good.
Yeah. So and it's funny, I'm also a smoker. And you know, I'll be walking down the street and I'll be smoking a cigarette and people will scowl. But if they figure out I'm smoking a joint, I'm getting a little bit of a smile, a giggle, and a wink and a nod now. Finally.
Yeah, it's almost opposite now, right?
Yeah, but the Shatterizer has made such a difference because I don't have to get through that joint. You know, I don't have to hide anything. It's discreet. It's transportable, you know. I take a 5-pack of coils.
Yeah, a lot of people have mentioned that with me with about the smell, that they've turned to extract, and the Shatterizer is great for the extracts, and that's the one big kicker for them is like it doesn't smell.
No, not at all. You know, well, of course, there is some odor, especially when you're smoking. Well, when you're vaping the Karma Cup kit. You know?
Yes. But I mean, to go outside, like you say, for a quick hoot, and you do it on the Shatterizer as opposed to smoking half a joint. When you go back inside, you smoked a half a joint, you're definitely smelling like cannabis. But if you go out and you do a couple of quick hits off a Shatterizer and you go back in, you don't smell that.
No, you're good to go. Yeah,
that's a big attraction for this.
Oh yeah, and we get a lot of new mothers who also, you know, it's just discreet, transportable, and easy. That's what people are looking for, you know. And it, you know, it's funny how we keep coming kind of back to the device, but it's nice.
Yeah,
it's
well,
solid,
that's what we're
you
here
know?
for.
I mean, we integrate it to our lives. It's just another piece of technology, right?
That's right.
Think about, you know, the cell phone and what you take in your little tech kit. You know, you got your charger, you got your headset, you're good to go.
Yep. Yep, it's just an added piece of tech that we're regularly carrying with me. And I'll tell you, it's welcome for me. I was a bong girl. My whole life, I was a bong girl. I have been carrying around a bong since I was like 14 years old. I love my bongs. I still have my bong sitting in front of me on my desk beside my Shatterizer right now. The only difference is now it's hooked up to an email. Because I've converted basically, I would think probably 95 to 98% of my consumption for smoking consumption has been converted from flower to extracts. I smoke hardly any flower anymore. It's mainly extracts now. In the last year, I have converted largely over to extracts, but I still love my bong. But the one good thing with the Shatterizer is when I go to events and I go to festivals, I used to have to carry around a bong. Well, that's pretty big to carry around, and it's glass and it could break, and it's cumbersome, and you're looking for water, and it requires both hands most of the time. With the Shatterizer, you stick it in your pocket. So, I mean, it's freed me up a lot.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, for on the go.
That's right. Discreet. Just fits in your pocket. If you're not carrying, if you haven't got the little, some people, because you can take the little storage thing off. If you know you're going to a spot where you're not going to need it, it even makes it that much smaller.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you take the storage thing off, then it will also stick to pretty much anything because the magnet is there, right? So I was at the park, and we were doing a local park cleanup, and while I was at the park, I had put my Shatterizer. I was looking for a place to put it down, but the park bench that I was on was kind of on a hill, and it kept rolling and stuff. And I stuck it underneath the table. There was a metal bar that went across the middle, and it just stuck there. And I thought, oh, perfect. I know where it is. It's not going anywhere. And there's my Shatterizer sort of hanging off the end of the picnic table. So I got to do my job in it, and it was nice and safe.
Yeah, totally. What I like about the separate container is that I keep it in the fridge, actually. So I'll load my extracts in there, and then I'll keep the container in the fridge or the freezer, and then I always keep a globe. Since you're a bong girl, you probably love the concept of some ice on a special occasion.
Yep.
If you frosty up your glass globe, it's very cool to kind of see and to take that kind of
just
chill
the glass
tip.
ones. Just the glass one?
Well, you can throw the aluminum one in. I travel with the aluminum, and I keep the glass at home.
Right.
I'm a creature of habit. I had my Shatterizer for 4 months before I broke the glass dome, and I did it on Christmas Day.
Oh.
Hiding in a bathroom, blowing up the fan. So it was just one of those moments where I was like, oh.
Yeah. It's a good thing you didn't need to find a vendor to get a new top. Christmas Day is a little tough, right?
And it just made us that much more dedicated to bringing out that aluminum option,
Yeah.
It's we love the demand. Hooray. What can we do,
Yeah. And a lot of people really like the black one. They like the fact that they can make it all sleek and all dark and
Do you want to hear something crazy? You want to hear something nuts? It's 50-50. It's 50-50 to the silver and the black. It's
really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I got on my last shipment, I got equal quantities of both, and I sold out of both of them. So yeah, people want both. So I didn't have any leftovers, like not more of one than the other at all.
Sure.
They went relatively at the same rate.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I love the silver one. I just love the crushed kind of matte look. I love it, and matte's all about black.
And
It's
that's
all
the
about
same
that
for
black.
me too in my house. I have the silver and my hubby has the black.
Yeah, I
got the
don't know
black.
what it is. You have the
Guys
black
like
one?
the
Wayne,
black.
Wayne got the black too. I can see
The
his right here.
guys like the black ones. The girls like the silver.
Yeah, kind of cool, But it's 50-50. Hey, and that might make sense because we also have an equal between female male.
Well, there you go.
going on.
It would be interesting to look at the stats of that. Like, what is the ratio to females to males by the black?
About that. Actually, we skew a little more female.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, which is kind of cool. Actually,
All right,
super
ladies.
Cool. Cool.
It's time for us to take another commercial break.
Already? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Time's flying again.
Time for us to hear some more Forensic in that song, the Shatter song.
The Shatter song.
And then Kim and I will continue our conversation with our guest, Val McCulloch. You're listening to the Pace Radio Show. We are live here at lifestyleradio.net.
Hey, this is Cheech. And this is Chong. And you're listening to Lifestyle Radio. What is it? Lifestyle Radio. Say it one more time. 420 Radio? Ooh.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
Break a piece of that shatter, bro. Shatter, bro. Shatter, bro. Keep the nailing and dab it slow. Some people take pills like Ativan. Me, I would rather just dab a gram. If you like getting high off a shatter, then put the shit on Facebook and tag a friend. Blow indica, sativa too. Blow butane through the weed you grew. Shit so clear that you're seeing it through. You say you don't give a fuck, we don't need you to. Because the shit is melting like candle wax. Shout out to the girls that can handle dabs. You fly as hell, you might as well get rid of your man if you can't adapt to that chronic shit that you smoking. Take the rips of that potent. Break a chip off that strain of pip and blaze it till you're straight choking. Now you floating.
Man, have you been to Canadays yet? Canadays, Campbellford's premier cannabis culture shop at 19 Bridge Street West. They've got bongs, oil rigs, grinders, and papers. Everything you need for consumption. They've got seeds, soil, nutrients, and dome trays too. Everything you need for cultivation. Get top quality seeds from top suppliers like Canuck and wholesaler Nexus. Canadays. They've got all kinds of awesome cannabis novelties, clothing, and apparel. I know, right? It's a lot more than just a bong shop. Interested in gaining legal access? Canadays can help. They're a PACE information center. You know, people advocating cannabis education. Come by the shop and check it out. 19 Bridge Street West, Campbellford. Canadays. Have your say without saying a word. Canadays.ca.
Hi, this is Al Graham of the Pace Radio Show.
Yeah, what up? Break a piece of that shatter, bro. Shatter, bro. Shatter, bro. Heat the nail and then dab it slow. Dab it slow. Dab it slow. Break a piece of that shatter, bro. Shatter, bro. Shatter, bro. Heat the nail and then dab it slow. Taking hits of that BHO. Watching True Blood on HBO. Breathe it in, blow it out. I can smoke a few blunts, but it don't amount to the shatter high. Dabbing my wax on the nail cause it magnifies how my eyes start to bleed till it advertise to the public. Man, I love it while you act surprised. All the yellow shit.
Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in to the Pace Radio Show. We are being broadcasted live at lifestyleradio.net. And maybe you're catching the podcast afterwards at YouTube, Mixcloud, iTunes, or iHeartRadio. Tonight, bumper music was featured was Forensic, and a song called The Shatter Song. Goes along with our guest, Shatterizer, right? So unfortunately, I don't have any information on forensics, so all I can suggest is that you look them up online. Tonight our guest is Val McCulloch of the Shatterizer, and my joint host, Kim Cooper. Well, ladies, we're down to the last segment of the program.
Yes, we are. Time is just flying right on by. It most certainly is, and it always does when we have interesting guests.
Yes, yes, yeah.
An interesting host.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So I mean, we've talked a lot about Shatterizer and, the parts on it and the making of it and your involvement, Val. You guys have been pushing this product for, like we said, just over a year. I think the first time I met you was at Karma last year. So we're coming up on the 1 year mark for that. Since then, you guys, you've been going strong. I follow you on social media, and I've seen you all over the place. You're attending events and expos across the nation. Tell us about some of your travels.
Totally. We went to Mom Cup Harvest Fest in July in Nova Scotia, and it was absolutely awesome. We love Debbie. We love everyone there. April, the volunteers, Marcel. I mean, it was just such a cool experience. We made friends with Jay Frost, who's just a hilarious, great guy. He took a Shatterizer to the top of a mountain, and it was just hilarious. I mean, we had the opportunity. Yeah, and we had the opportunity to take our Shatterizers all the way to Peggy's Cove, which was kind of cool to, enjoy a moment vaping Perfect Clouds and listening to the bagpipes in the background, and then, pairing it with Lobster, having that really awesome experience, out east. So that was amazing. I mean, we're really looking forward to all the cool stuff that's going on at Ganjanistas. I mean, Paula's Cannabis Social Lounge is just amazing. I finally was able to get out there, I believe, a week or two ago for the New Amsterdam Indexer.
Yeah.
And the space is just beautiful. Like, what a great place to be.
Awesome. I can't wait to get there. I haven't visited Ganjanistas yet. It opened prior to my last visit to the city, but I am going there next week, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I know.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, Al broadcasts live from there every Friday night. He actually goes into Ganjanista and broadcasts live from there.
Yeah, we'll be attending there actually, not this Friday, but the following Friday. The Friday just before the Karma Cup is when me and my little group from the north will be attending at Ganjanistas, and we'll be visiting there and joining Al on the air that night.
Love it. It's beautiful space. Just beautiful. We had a really fun time in Toronto. We actually had the opportunity to meet Carl Wolf.
Awesome. Excellent.
It was a family member's birthday, and it was a really, really cool experience to we actually know the writer. He gave us a track that we used for a video with Precious Chong. So we went out to support him, and he did the writing. And Carl Wolf so Eleven's mic went dead while he was on stage, and Carl Wolf gave him the mic so that he could sing Pushy live that he wrote, which was really cool to see a star do. And we caught that on Facebook. So it was really neat to see some Canadian talent, and, there's just so many great things going on in the industry,
Yeah.
We can hardly wait for Karma Cup and Hempfest, too. We can hardly wait to see you guys.
You went out west for a bit, too, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. We went to the Lift Expo.
Yeah.
In Vancouver, which was just incredible. And we've also been spending some time in the States to figure out some best practices between both the medicinal and recreational markets. I mean, we've toured probably over 100 dispensaries throughout Las Vegas, California, and Denver combined. And we've done all kinds of shows there too.
Did you know? Do you know Pony Boy?
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I see. He does. You see? Yeah, I see him using the Shatterizer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Los Marijuanos.
Yeah, Los Marijuanos. Amigo, hola. He's just been fantastic, and he's a riot. We've also had the opportunity to meet the dabbing granny. She's a super
great.
Inspiration.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? She's so lovely, and she hugs everybody.
Yeah.
She really does. Like she's just amazing. I mean, it's been a lot of fun going to these shows and meeting these great people. And I mean, we exchange a Shatterizer. Please try our device. Tell us if you like it. And it just kind of goes from there organically. And we're just so appreciative for that,
Excellent. So you've been all over the place, coast to coast, from one end of it to the other. Very, very busy year for you guys. You're heading down into the States. You're looking at exporting and passing this on to a whole new marketplace down there with the evolving situation with cannabis in the U.S. What's next? What's coming up? You mentioned HempFest.
Oh, yeah, we're so excited. Through 420 Radio, we had the opportunity to meet Stephen Stairs, who's the head of Winnipeg 420. And he's done so much great work within the community. And we've been working with him, and we try to support him in whatever he's doing. And we're so excited to be, hanging out with him, as well as Mel from Mello's Moments. Yep. And we'll all be hanging out there during HempFest. And we love the CNE. It's so great that you guys touched on that earlier. It really is a legendary Toronto building, and it's right down by the lake. I mean, I think it's one of my favorite places in Toronto. It's almost unbelievable that there will be an awesome cannabis event.
Yeah. It's amazing for sure. It's amazing to host such an event that isn't a protest event that you actually are getting permits for and you're allowed to be there with welcoming open arms, so to speak. I mean, that's a huge milestone for the city for sure.
Huge. And we're just looking forward to seeing everybody. So please come by and hang out. I mean, we're always so happy to say hello. And come visit us, please.
Yeah.
We'd love to see you.
You've got HempFest coming up, but before HempFest is Karma.
Yeah! We love the Karma Cup. We're so excited. It's funny, I was looking at pictures from last year. And Matt's just starting to grow a beard, eh?
Yep.
And now he's full beard. It's amazing what a year can do.
The transition took place.
Yeah. And I mean, we really, the Karma Cup is just incredible, and it just brings together so many great people. And the judges are so much fun. Seeing all the judges.
Event, right? It really is a rare event. Every time you go, every year you go, no matter what, you're guaranteed you're gonna have a good time. Everybody there is just so happy just to be there, right?
Hats off to Sarah Sunday for sure, and her team of volunteers on that.
Yeah. And they put on one hell of an event every year. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know. I'm looking forward to it. We'll be down there covering it live here on Lifestyle Radio.
Yeah.
Love it.
For those who can't get there because they live out west or whatever, and they just can't get here to Toronto, we're going to be there talking to all the vendors. So I'm sure we'll be talking to you, Bill.
Yeah, we'll be doing the rounds, and you'll wind up with one of us sticking a mic in your face.
Well, it's so funny because I was just thinking the first time Al and I met, we were at the Global Marijuana March.
Correct.
And it was so fun because we were literally sprinting down the street and just, chatting away. And it was just awesome,
Yeah, we met up with Matt. And
yeah,
it's it was
so
good.
Great. And he says hello, by the way. He's sorry he can't be here, but he's with his lovely son. So I'm happy to be here and chatting with you guys. And
we got to
thank
do
you
the
so
family
much for
time.
having me.
So
is there
any, I should say thank you too, also here for the network here too, because you guys are a sponsor here for the network, aren't you?
We love you guys so much. You've taught us so many great things, and you have so many special guests. You know, we love you. We really do. Thank you. I mean, we're very appreciative, and you know, it's the hour and a half has just flown by. I mean,
yeah. It has. Now, we're not going to do a shout out yet, but I'm just wondering, got any things that you can, secrets that maybe you can tease us on? That,
well,
maybe
I have one question or comment, and that might lead to a question. When I use my Shatterizer now at events, I have a really bad habit. Whenever I go, I'm doing stuff and I'm busy and I'm multitasking. I put stuff down and I forget where I put it. I don't know if anybody else out there sympathizes with me on this. You've got 15,000 things going on. You've put it down on the counter, but now you've been in 10 rooms. Which room did I leave it in? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So is there on the market or on the horizon a way to keep our Shatterizer attached to us?
Yes, there are actually two solutions that we're looking to bring very soon, very, 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 very soon to the market. And one of them will also help you locate it in the dark.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I like that.
Thank you for the ask. I will leave you kind of with that. And the second aspect is we're hoping to have some really great news soon. Some really great news on some exciting developments. And, thank you for all the love and support. And, Kim, that was a great question.
The story of my life. Where did I put it?
Listen, we can hardly wait. We can hardly wait to see all of you at the Karma Cup. And that will be my follow-up.
All right. Good. Yeah. You can let us know any updated information at that time.
We'll see you on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Hooray! We'll digitally geek out too. Until then.
That's right.
Excellent. Yeah. The solution so far to my technical problems and losing it and misplacing it that I've come up with so far, none of them really work all that well because they put the apparatus either upside down or, stuff like that. And that's not necessarily a good thing when you've got some extracts in there. You don't kind of want them spilling out the top or, clogging stuff up. You want to keep it upright.
Vertical, absolutely.
So, I mean, I've done stuff like the lighter leash. Stick it on the end.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But then if you've got your stash container there, well, then it gets stuck in there.
I think you should
get it out. And it's upside down, so that's no good.
I think you should make a Pez model.
Yeah.
Right, so each time you clicked on it, you got a new bowl with a whole new flavor in it.
Love it.
All right.
Love it. Different flavors. Perfect.
Taco flavors.
Keep it coming, guys. Keep it coming.
Yeah.
Because you know how we were discussing earlier, different bowls for different strains, right?
Yeah. Also, you're just baiting me, eh?
Yeah.
We're still testing, guys. We're still testing.
Okay.
Some interesting caps. I'll just say that.
Val.
Thank you for having us.
Hey, well, thank you for coming on the show. Shout outs. People, place, thing. If you got 2 or 3 you want to rhyme off, go right ahead.
Karma Cup, Fest, and see you online. We love your pictures of perfect clouds, and thank you to everybody, our entire community, and thank you to you guys for having me tonight. And I loved geeking out with you over gadgets and just chatting about what's going on.
Awesome.
Hey, we appreciate you coming on and talking to us. Now, where can people find the Shatterizer? Like, as far as website, you got any, maybe some, I don't know, places offhand you can think of? Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. Shatterizer.ca. We have a Shatterizer tab where we have over 20 really cute videos of people Shatterizing. We'd love you to, check those out, maybe create your own. We have a blog section in our website where, we do shout outs all the time and say, our thank yous to the people who are doing cool stuff in the community, like Jay Frost, for example, and of course, Mum. Check out our blog, check out our Shatterizer landing page, and you can just hashtag Shatterizer on whatever social media you happen to be in at that time, and you can get a hold of us.
Well, I can say that, hey, you guys do respond really quickly.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. You bet. We love it. We love talking, and social media is so important. We've been able to meet so many cool people, especially you guys.
Awesome. Well, it was a pleasure to get together with you as well, and Matt as well. Fantastic product with some fantastic company owners, very receptive to any issues for sure. Guarantee you that. Great product. I wouldn't tout it otherwise.
And next weekend we'll all be together in person.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Excellent.
We can have it. That's right. All right. Okay. Kim, have you got a shout out?
I do. My shout out this week is going to the Timmins area. Anybody in the local Timmins community area, the THC committee, the Timmins Hemp Community Committee, is hosting another park cleanup day this Sunday at Gillies Lake at the ice cream stop parking lot area is where we're going to meet at 11 a.m. All volunteers are greatly appreciated. Let's do our best to keep this community clean and show this community that cannabis consumers have a heart and do give a shit about our community. So we hope to see many of you out there, and many thanks to the City of Timmins for working with us on this and donating the garbage bags and pickup stick materials used to pick up the garbage in a hands-free manner with no bending, along with NoSir.org, who donated the gloves and the sharps container should any needles or paraphernalia be found. They can be dealt with safely. So hope to see you all in the park, Gillies Lake, 11 a.m. Sunday.
Good to hear. Community service work like that puts a good face on everybody.
Yeah.
Not the one that we see on TV or in the news sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, Kim, you and I are back together again next week.
Yes, we are. 2 weeks back to back. This month had 5 weeks in it, so I've got 2 weeks back to back. Next week, we have a really good show on tap again, 2 weeks in a row. We're really good at interesting shows. We will have Tracy Curley for the Karma Cup.
We've had 5 years of straight interesting shows.
Yes.
Love her.
Yes, it'd be good to hear from Tracy.
She's ever incredible. She's an incredible lady, for sure.
Yeah, and actually, you guys are going to be doing that in person.
Yeah, we'll be face-to-face for this interview. I'll be in Toronto for the Karma Cup. I arrive in the city that day, and our Airbnb is located in the same neighborhood that Tracy lives in. So she's going to join me at the Airbnb, and we'll be on the air together on my laptop there.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to throw a shout out to Wayne here at Canada's, and he has moved.
Yay! Bigger space.
Bigger space. More than twice the size now, Wayne? Almost 3 times the floor space that we had in the other place.
Awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So now he's going to be able to expand things, bring the wife into it. Yeah. He's over here nodding yes to me.
Excellent. Yeah, I think there's going to be some added piercing and stuff going on, right?
Yeah, some piercing, and once we get some practice, some screen printing services, and we're getting a lot more into gardening supplies as well.
Excellent. So you're one-stop shop for everything cannabis.
We're hoping to be, and come October, we're hoping to have finalized a little, I don't want to call it course, a work group sessions thing, a 12-week thing that I'm calling Grow Your 4, and it's entry-level gardening sessions from seed to harvest, making your butters and stuff and your edibles, and just kind of a very basic run through, so anybody who's never done it at least has some kind of a beginner's guide to do it.
Base knowledge, excellent.
Yeah.
Community grassroots education.
Yeah, as we know, come October 17th, we can start growing our own.
Awesome.
I intend to help everybody who wants to.
Excellent. Cool. Way to go, Wayne.
There we go. Alrighty. Just a reminder to let everybody know that you can find Pace on Twitter at Pace Radio. You can also like us on Facebook. We're on Instagram as Pace Radio Show. And we're on the web at pace-online.ca. Thank yous go out to our sponsors, the friendly and helpful folks at CC Nexus, Canada's largest cannabis sold seed wholesaler. They're at ccnexus.global. Al Rapp of Lifestyle Radio, the man with the baggie in one hand, and he's got his Shatterizer in the other one. He does, Val, every show.
Love him. Every show.
Love Al Rapp.
And once again, Val, thanks for everything you do here for sponsoring here at the Lifestyle Radio, too. So.
Thank you for putting on such a great show.
Hey, we're trying, giving everybody a voice. That's what we have to do.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
And also big thank you to you, Kim, for everything you do.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm always happy to be here.
And a big thank you to our listeners. We always appreciate our listeners. And until the next time, thank you and good night.
Good night.
Good night.
So what are you doing? Nothing? Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.